If Sheff said something, it happened.
Crystal Williams sent to her brother, Sheff G, who told her brother that one of the main Folk Nation members had to get hit.
Say no more on Grandpa. Get this done. I got $5K for you.
They doing the hit in the neighborhood for 5,000.
Welcome back to InTheStreetzTV, and today we still talking about Sheff G and his Trey 8 crew. So before we get into this video, make sure y'all smash that like button, and if y'all not subscribed to this channel, make sure y'all subscribe with post notifications turned on. Now as the plot thickens and more information come out, it seems like they trying to charge Sheff G himself with kingpin status. And y'all know what comes with kingpin status, right? That's life behind bars. Now it's also alleged that Sheff G had his sister Crystal Williams controlling parts of Brooklyn. But like they always say, innocent before proven guilty. But in this case, it's not looking too good, y'all.
If Sheff said something, it happened. A simple text. We got to get a big one. That simple text created a war.
Now, if y'all take a look at the screen, these are text messages between Sheff G and LV Brim, aka Crystal Williams' boyfriend. Now, LV Brim starts off by saying, "We gonna tell him come downstairs," followed by "and close to the car." Sheff G states, "When?" LV says, "Today, we gonna do it." Sheff G responds by saying, "Say no more on Grandpa. This gets done, I got $5K for you." Now I'm starting to think that Sheff G was trying to be the next version of 50 Cent. Check this clip out.
They doing the hit in the neighborhood for 5,000. They doing the hit in the neighborhood for 5,000.
And Sheff G just said, "Say no more on Grandpa. Get this done, I got $5K for you."
Sheff G used a lot of the money that he earned to help facilitate further activity. He encouraged members to participate in violent crimes.
The sheer violence in this case would stick out to me. The total disregard for civilians.
The magnitude of it. It stretches through a good portion of Brooklyn South. It's in the 40s. It's in Kings Highway. And it's all the way down to East 18th and Caton. And it just really shows the command the 8 Trey Crips and their elite alliances had over the Brooklyn South area.
There's many facets of the investigation that cover a wide range that have to be vetted.
Everybody looks up to these guys, so you know it's a shame that they're using this platform, you know, the music platform, to actually, you know, carry out, you know, a negative message. When I say negative message, you know, I'm not talking about the music, it's what they're actually doing.
Now this is alleged. After every hit, Sheff G would take his boys to the car dealership and drop bags on cars for them. As y'all can see in this video right here, he is buying Benzes, AMGs, giving his man's jewelry. Just look at the smiles on these dudes' face. That goes to show y'all, the price of a body in the hood is no more than a Benz, a chain, and maybe 5 grand. A lot of these dudes never been outside of the hood. A lot of these dudes come from poverty. They never had much. So when they get things like this, they're gonna do whatever it takes to keep it. And that's what Sheff G allegedly was feeding off of. Now after a long day of car shopping, it is said that Michael Williams, aka Sheff G, and Sleepy Hollow took the Trey 8 crew members to Brooklyn Chop House, a steak restaurant, to celebrate the slaying of Theodore Sr. Sniper Blicky. Now I know a lot of y'all is wondering, how do the police know all this? How did they get all this information? How did they get text messages? How did they know about these cars? Well, it's not hard to tell. The same guy that got beat down by the 8 Trey crew members was allegedly affiliated with Sheff G before Sheff G sent out his goons to beat dude down for leaking his address.
Sheff G's home in Short Hills was attacked, and he believed that rivals were responsible for his home up in New Jersey. Recovered text messages between Sheff G and a guy named Olivel Martinez, who's a fellow member, but also the boyfriend of his sister Crystal Williams, surmised that one of their fellow members had to betray them to give up Sheff G's secret house in Short Hills. And so there's a lot of conversation around getting revenge on the member who had betrayed them, and the A-Trays and 9-Way spent months trying to track this individual down for retribution for giving up his home, who gave up Sheff G's address. Ultimately, 10 members of the captured him one day, kidnapped him, drove him off to a cemetery in Brooklyn, and started to beat him to death. He was saved because some random person called 911 and police responded, and video of the beating was captured.
So there y'all have it. That is the informant that gave up the whole A-Tray crew and Sheff G. It is not hard to tell who's giving up all this information. Like he said, that guy was saved, and if he gave up Sheff G address to the ops, what makes y'all think he's not giving up all the information, the ins and outs, the names, the addresses, the cars, even the group chat text messages? And that's why Sheff G wanted him gone, cause he knew dude was a liability. Now when I first dropped this clip that y'all watching on the screen right now of them running to the car, aka the track hawk, a lot of y'all in the comment section was telling me that they was not tracking this car by GPS. And how did they know Sheff G was the driver? And I told y'all they tracked the GPS on the car. They tracked their cell phone's GPS. They know exactly who was in that car. Each person has a cell phone on them. And if y'all don't know, they could ping your cell phone off of towers all over the city. Now, if y'all don't believe me, just listen to what the DA had to say about tracking the car.
The license plates and the info GPS on the car puts it at the scene before, during, and after. And there's a lot of other evidence, including when the car is ultimately abandoned. Evidence that we have that Sheff G gets an Uber back to Short Hills after this, directly connecting him as the getaway driver. Plus there's other evidence, but let's play the video.
Now the crazy thing about this whole situation, Sheff G was running his crew like he was filming a scene off of Power. He had his own sister second in command and running parts of Brooklyn.
Crystal Williams sent to her brother Sheff G, who told her brother that one of the main Folk Nation members had to get hit, and only after 1 hour after Michael Williams, aka Sheff G, is communicating with a trusted, and he's asking if the A-Trays had scored, and he's asking for proof of that score to be sent to him by screenshots. Just a few days later, Sheff G takes the from this incident and some other for a very lavish, expensive steak dinner where they celebrate the score against their rivals.
So now that y'all seen that and heard that, stroll down to that comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this crazy situation. All I'ma say is it's not looking too good. But like I always say, innocent until proven guilty. But at this point, they have a lot of evidence. So he might as well take a plea. He might as well take a plea deal. Because if you hold out and you take it to trial, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get the max. And it is what it is. But anyway, make sure y'all smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe with post notifications turned on.